Smartphones have become integrated into our daily lives. We use them to communicate, for work, for education, and for entertainment. But parents also have to factor in the potential impact that screen time and video games may be having on their child's physical health, mental well-being, and social development.
We have a lot of chat between all the consultants in pediatrics because we were seeing a subjective, but at least a rate increasing of referrals for us of same kind of complaints from parents about inattention, lack of focus, anger from the kids, different behavior, irritability. And when we were talking with the parents in our clinics about what's going on at home, thinking about always, kind of interaction at home, one of the most important things that they were highlighting was the use of the screens. It's very difficult as parents to deal with that. Most of the parents we have been growing without these devices, so it's difficult for us to understand the dependency that they are having and how to put a limit. But we know is a very strict relation with the use and overuse of this screen time, with the problems that we are seeing.
That's actually the question, that how we can use all the advantages of these development, of these technical developments, because obviously these are just these devices became very important in our life, but they also mean a potential harm. So we have to figure out, and it's also a problem that it's a very novel thing. So it's not that the adults have the experience how to cope with this problem, because we are experiencing it together with the kids.
One concerned parent has launched a petition calling for an effective ban on smartphone use by children across all Gibraltar's schools.
What I think needs to happen, certainly initially, is that there's a department-led ban across all schools that can be systematically applied and then monitored for effectiveness. Because at the end of the day, I know that there are bans in place in Westside and Bayside. Then anecdotally, one school is doing better anecdotally than the other. And of course, that there are disruptions in class because the children have the phones with them and you're having to remove them, and that causes disruption and distraction. And my view is, and what I've had some support for so far in terms of signatures on the petition, is that there has to be a department-led initiative in order that all schools uniformly apply this.
What I'm saying is this is already happening. We're just right now experiencing a transition period where we are going to have the odd student, but I think that's normal. It takes time to adjust to new norms. But what I think is key here is that we educate the parents, because it's not so much about what's going on in school. The reality is that it's the odd minority who are taking out their phones and having to have them confiscated. The main screen time is happening at home. I like asking my students what their screen time is. On average, it's around 7 hours a day, which for me is extremely concerning. But then you've got the odd few that it's over 10.
Parents are finding their way and devising their own strategies.
We see the benefit of play, the benefit of kind of the sibling bond. And so by reducing screen time to about 2 hours a week, it's allowed our kids to play more, interact more. And we hope that they'll have a happier childhood because of that.
I've chosen not to have an iPad in our household. So when we're out and about and in a restaurant, I'd rather take, colouring or things like that to keep them entertained rather than an iPad, just so they don't end up relying on that to be their entertainment.
The conversation in the radio studio made clear parents and professionals are thinking carefully about how mobile devices are being used to make sure that they are enriching the lives of young people rather than the opposite.